Hi everyone, it's time for a 30-minute HIIT high-intensity workout using my new favorite prop, the BOSU ball. If you do not have the BOSU ball, you can do it without. I'll give you some modifications. You might want to use a Pilates box for some of the modifications. You might want to use a small mini ball for some of the modifications. So either of those two props will be good to have on hand if you do not have the BOSU ball. If you have the BOSU, go ahead and prop it up. I have it, as you can see, as a diagonal on my shoulder blocks. I have my foot bar up. My spring weight is 1 blue. For me, I call that a medium spring. It's kind of a medium light spring. So 1 blue spring is what you want to have on. We're going to have a seat right beside the BOSU closest to the foot bar, and then I want you to turn to the foot bar. You're basically going to be leaning back in the BOSU. If you don't have the BOSU, this is where you can prop yourself up on that little mini ball, or feel free to lay all the way back. We are all on the very light spring weight. We'll be doing a little bit of jumping. I want you to start with your right leg in tabletop. Do a little hop as you push the carriage all the way out and back in. Good. So that BOSU is giving you a little bit of support here. You're just leaning right back into the BOSU as we start to warm up our core. Core is always the focus in Pilates. Even though we're going to be doing a lot of high intensity intervals, working those larger muscles, getting our heart rate up, we definitely want to start by moving from our center. One more on this side, and then we're going to switch. Next time you jump, we'll straighten both legs and switch. Little jumps on your right leg, left leg in tabletop. I like to exhale as I jump. That exhale is going to automatically engage my deepest muscles in my core. Those are my transverse abdominals. So just by taking that exhale, that corset draws tight and my abdominals start to warm up. 2 more, and then we're going to alternate from side to side. Let's jump and switch. Straight legs to switch. Jump and switch. The straight legs is a little more challenging to switch, so if this is too much for you, you can take it to bent legs to switch. Like a little bend in the knee. Yeah, good job. All right. Last 2 alternating, and then I want you to jump with both feet jumping, big bend at the knee, and then little jumps away. I just mean little jumps in that if you are doing heavier weight and we're pushing really much with those legs, you would be getting pretty far. Since we have the lighter weight, we don't want to be pushing as hard as we would on heavy weight. You don't want to hit the edge of the tower. Good. Nice exhales as you jump. Notice we're jumping from our knees. Every time we bend our knees, or every time we land, our knees bend. I want you to do that just a few more times, bending from your knees. And then the next time you push out, don't jump, just push out and hold it. Keep your legs long, lower your heels, and do little jumps from your ankles. Hands can be up if you'd like. Hands can be down if you'd like. Just pulling those abdominals in and engaging through the core. Hands can even go behind the head. That's an even more advanced option. Starting to feel those abs warm up. I know I am. Let's go 4 more. 3, 2, and 1, and done. Come all the way in. Let's begin. Come all the way off to your right side. You may not be able to see my BOSU. I'm going to show you where I'm placing it. I'm placing it right down on the floor in the middle of my carriage. If you do not have the BOSU, this is where you're going to place your box. You'll place the box right by the carriage. I still have that medium blue spring on. Put your left foot on the BOSU. Take your right hand and grab your strap. Standing nice and tall here. Start with a little low elbow row. As you exhale, you're going to rotate your palm up. As you inhale, the palm goes down. You can also do this with no box. So if you don't have the BOSU and you don't have the box, then you can just be doing this same row standing beside your carriage. And if you do not have room on the side of your carriage, check out my video on modifications of what you can do when you don't have room beside your carriage. You can still be following along. Good. Next set, I want you to stand on top of the BOSU and row again. I like to do that really twist with the arm, palm down when you straighten, Palm up when you pull. Just going to work the arm in the most optimal position. Last 2. And 1 more. Great job. Let's step to the front. Left foot is on the floor. Right foot is on the BOSU. I'm facing my machine. Go ahead and interlace your fingers. Do a nice squat down and then rotate right. Remember, if you do not have the BOSU, just both feet are on the floor. Or if you're using your Pilates box, your right foot would be on your Pilates box. Good work. Try to sink nice and deep through those heels, keeping your chest lifted. One more. Good work. Okay, let's put the strap down. Time for our first kind of interval. We're going to be using our BOSU ball. I don't know why I did air quotes, but we're using our BOSU ball. You're going to step up and over the top and up and over the top. You can keep it low impact, just kind of stepping up and over. If you're ready for more high impact, you can add a little hop. Again, if you're on the box, you can do this on the box. If you don't have a lot of on the side of the machine, you can be standing other place in the room and doing this on the BOSU. You don't necessarily have to be on the side of the machine for this. You can be anywhere else in your room that you have space. Good. Now, if you're working and getting that heart rate up like we're trying to do, the more you use your full body, the higher the heart rate will get. So I'm going to start adding my arms into the mix. Go high and low. That's another way to get your heart rate up. When you have to go from a low position to a high position, your heart has to work harder. Now I've got my timer on. We're going to do 15 more seconds. Good. 10 more. Keep breathing. You want to send that oxygen to your muscles that need it. 3, 2, when you're on the tower side, go ahead and stop there. Pick up the strap again. This time it's in the left hand. Turn to face your foot bar. Right foot is on the BOSU or the box or just on the floor. Left arm is doing an offer. Now I realize I kept this pretty heavy, so if you need a little bit less challenge, just scoot yourself back. You can even step off the BOSU. This is your active recovery. I almost did air quotes again. I don't know what is with me in air quotes today, but that's usually not what I am. But anyway, little active recovery, which means you're still working, but we're breathing. We're bringing that heart rate down, getting ready for our next little interval. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Let's put the strap away. On this interval, I want you to take all of your springs and put them on. This is so the machine does not move. You're standing on your BOSU or your box with your right foot. Your left foot is on the carriage. We're going to start stepping up, big squat down. If you do not have room beside your machine, the BOSU can go on the edge of the machine and you can be doing your step-ups on your gray surface. So you can still follow along. Really push off. I love the BOSU because we can get a nice big extension and press off of the BOSU. Now instead of going straight up, we're just going to do a knee lift. Go up, knee tuck, knee tuck. This is your interval to get the heart rate up. Keep breathing. Take a rest if you need to. Instead of a knee tuck, let's do an outer thigh lift. Take the leg out to the side, back down. Good work. 2 more. Instead of an outer thigh lift, do a glute squeeze. Take the leg back. Is it burning yet? I'm not going to look at you because I'm going to fall. So don't look at me. Look in front of you. We're going to do the combination now. Last 2 here, and then 1 of each. Do 1 knee tuck, 1 outer thigh, 1 glute. You've got it. 3 more to go. 1 knee tuck, 1 outer thigh, 1 glute. You've got it. 1 more knee tuck, outer thigh, and glute. Come all the way down. Let's keep an active recovery, which means we're moving, we're working, just not as intense. Take everything off except one yellow. That should be your lightest spring. I put it on the top position, which gives it just a little bit more work. Put your hands on the carriage, put your feet on the headrest, and come to a tabletop position. Let's start with your right hand. I want you to reach it back and grab the strap. Lengthen through the crown of the head, pull your abs in, pull your ribs in. Do a bicep curl with the right arm, punch the arm over your head to the foot bar, and circle it out and around. Keep doing that. Now, if you're gasping for air, you're in good company. I am as well. I'm trying to breathe without making too much noise because I know you don't want to hear that. But I'm definitely breathing. I'm definitely sweating. My client this morning in class, we did this class, and she said, I think it's the first time that I've come here and sweat, so that's a good thing. It's good to get your heart rate up. And the great thing about the reformer, so many awesome things about the reformer, but you don't necessarily have to have the jump board to get your cardio in. Last two. One more in this direction, and then I'd like for you to switch your direction. Open out and do a circle first. Go up and over your head. Then bend your arm and bring it back to your hip. Make sure that left elbow just has a little bend and you're kind of rolling the back of the elbow back towards the shoulder block. So you're not rotating it forward and squishing your shoulder to your ear. You're rotating it back and keeping the shoulder away from the ear. Good. On this last one, I want you to finish and then take the right hand and set it on the carriage, holding the strap still in the hand. Take your left hand foot and bring it where the left hand was. Come up to high kneeling proposal position, left arm forward, right arm by the armpit. I want you to alternate punching right and left. Now, as always, the weight options that I give you, you know by now, are options. If this does not feel good for you, make a change. Less weight would be less intense here. More weight would be more intense. That's not always the case. Sometimes less is more. But in this case, if it's too challenging, take it down. You can also do this exact same exercise seated instead of kneeling. Two more here. One more. When the right arm is forward, stay there for a moment and then take the arm up to the ceiling. The strap will kind of go behind you. Again, pull your ribs and pull your abs in and take it to a tricep bend and push. That elbow is going to stay nice and close to your ear. I will say this is definitely a challenge here, so if you need to, that left hand can go right on top of the right and use it for some stability and assistance. Good job, looking great. One more here. And then let's circle that arm all the way down and put the strap away. Take your left foot back, both knees down on the carriage. Left hand's going to grab for that strap on the left. Find that neutral spine to begin with. Reach energy from the crown of the head to the tail. Do your bicep curl overhead press, and then that big circle out and around. Again, check out your right elbow. Make sure it has a smidge of a bend there, and you're rolling your shoulder away from your ear. Now, hopefully by now your heart rate's come down a little bit. You're taking big breaths because it's just almost time to bring it back up again. 3 more to go. And 2. Good work. Let's do that one more time, and then I want you to reverse your direction. Let's open up first, big circle, and then bend the elbow and push the fingers to the back of the room. Big circle. Again, if this is too much on the shoulders, don't ever muscle through anything. It's never a no pain, no gain situation. It's always working at a resistance where you can do the exercise in an optimal way without injury, but you're feeling the effects. One more. Good. Now let's take that left hand and bring it down to the carriage. Take your right foot, step it forward where the right hand was, and come to high kneeling. Reach your right arm to the diagonal, and I want you to start pressing and alternating with your chest press. Now if you added a little rotation on the other side, definitely do that here. But if you stayed more stable on the other side, keeping your hips and shoulders square, You can do the same thing on this side. Remember your options here. If this is too much, you can always kneel with both knees down. You can sit crisscross. A lot of variations to do the same exercise so that it works for you. Now on your next one, I want you to keep the left arm forward. Bring it up to the ceiling. That strap's going to go behind you. Tricep bend. Notice the elbow is going to stay very close to my ear. And if I need it, I'm going to use my right hand for a little support. Good. Are you ready? 2 more. Last one. Okay, here we go. Let's take that strap and put it down. You will need to change your weight to that blue medium spring, taking your light yellow off. I'm going to exit to where my BOSU is so I can bring it around to the other side. I'm putting it right in the center. Remember, this is where you can use the box, or you can have no thing at all and you'll just be standing on the floor. Take your right foot on the BOSU or box. Left hand's going to grab for the strap. I'm going to sit really tall, shoulders down my back, ribs drawing in, into the low elbow row. Notice the palm. You're going to turn the palm down when you straighten, turn the palm up when you bend. Let's start ramping that heart rate back up. And then we'll kind of be at the pinnacle with those step-ups. Good. One more here. Now stand on the BOSU with both feet and do your row again. I'm in a little bit of a squat, keeping my knees bent, so I'm definitely not locking my knees out. If it's too much to stand on the BOSU, you stand on the floor. It's a great modification. One more to go. Okay, let's step off to the front. Right foot on the floor, left foot on the BOSU. Interlace your fingers, do a squat, and then rotate to the left. Big squat down, rotate left. Nice job. Really drive through that right heel, the heel that's on the floor, to stand up. When you finish this last one, put the strap away. I've got my timer. I'm going to take a peek. Are you ready? Here we go. We're going to step up on top, over, up on top, over. And you can take it more high impact with a little hop, or you can keep it low. Remember, the more of your body that gets involved in this, the harder it's going to be. So I'm going to start using my arms, really pumping my oxygen all the way from my toes to my fingers. Everything's working. The higher you get in the jump and the lower you get on the floor, that's even going to make it more intense. So I can go really low. Really good. You've got to send that oxygen into your muscles. Be breathing here. Big breaths in and out. 4 more. Well, 4.5. Now, end on the side of the tower and hold. Good. Pick up the strap with your right hand. Face your BOSU. Put your left foot on the BOSU. Right hand has the strap. We're standing nice and proud. Chest offering forward with the right and back. This was the hard one, so if you need to scoot back, please do so. My right arm's a smidge stronger. I'm okay here for now. Good. 2 to go. And 1 more. Really great work, everyone. Let's put that strap away. Very, very important. Probably the most important thing is all the springs are on. You want a stable carriage. All my springs are on. My carriage is still. My right foot is going on top of the carriage. My left foot is on the BOSU or the block. I'm going to start stepping up and back down. When you go down, squat deep. When you come up, drive through that right glute. This is all about that right glute. You have your foot bar there if you need it. We're going to start with the high knee on your next one. Come up, left knee up. Go down deep, left knee up. Good. 2 more. Instead of your knee, do your outer thigh. Kick it out to the side, squeeze. Even though we're working intensely, we want to work controlled. Still moving through that molasses, slow and steady. 2. Instead of the outer thigh, do a glute squeeze. Push that left leg back and land. Back and land. We're almost there. You're doing great. To push through it. Last 2. Ready for our combination. 1 knee, 1 outer thigh, 1 glute squeeze. I'm feeling it. 3 more. Knee, outer thigh, glute squeeze. I'm getting slower. That's okay. I'm moving. 2, outer thigh, glute squeeze. 1, knee, outer thigh, glute squeeze. Step yourself down and relax. Good job. Let's take it to 1 blue spring. That should be a medium spring on your machine. Take your BOSU and slide it underneath your machine. And we're going to move on to some arms. Let the heart rate actively come down. Hands on the shoulder blocks, knees on the carriage, feet hanging off into the springs. Pick up that right strap. Lift your sternum. Big exhales, you pull the right arm back and forward. Good. So you already know, but when you're doing high intensity and your heart rate's getting up, the last thing you want to do is completely stop right when you're done. You've got to kind of keep yourself moving a little bit, gradually bringing that heart rate down. And that's how I formatted this class. We would do a peak in the interval, and then we would keep working and keep working the muscles, but gradually bring the heart rate back down. Not to rest, but just back down. Now tricep, bend the elbow and push and press. Is that left elbow slightly bent? Shoulder rolling down your back. Good. 3. I think I'm like my client, I'm sweating. And 2, I hope you're sweating. And 1 more. Good. Put the strap on the hand, keep the strap, but just set it down. Take your left foot forward on the headrest. I like my ankle against the shoulder block for support. I'm actually going to slide my back toes underneath me for an optional stand. I have little loops. I'm going to grab them to give myself a little less slack. You can also just grab up on the straps. Come to high kneeling, standing nice and proud. We're going to open the arms out to a T. Slowly close them. Now, if you are sweating, be very careful if you decide to stand, because your toes could slip out from under you. So sometimes I will give my clients sticky pads, just pretty much shelf lining, that they can use. Or if you've got grippy socks, those may help. I like myself bare feet, but you want, just be careful because we're going to stand in a second. If you want. Here we go. If you're ready to stand, when you open the arms, I want you to stand straight up, and when you close, you go to hover. Stand straight up and back to a hover. If this is too much in the neck, go a little bit lower with those arms. You definitely don't want your traps to take over all the work. Those are the back muscles that elevate your shoulders. So if you feel your shoulders going way up, 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 go a little lower. 1 more. Good. Let's come down. Put your right strap back on the peg. There it is. Take the left strap in your left hand. Slide your left foot back. Second side. Find your form. Nice long spine. Let's start by pulling the left arm back and resisting it forward. I really did say we were getting our heart rate down, right? I don't think mine is coming down. I think that was still pretty intense. That's okay. It's only 30 minutes. We're going to do as much as we can in our little amount of time. I've probably said this in videos before, but sometimes 10 minutes is all I have, so I'll work out 10-minute blocks a few times a day. Next time the arm is back, hold it, tricep. So even if you don't have a whole hour to work out, that doesn't matter, it's okay. Whatever you've got to commit, 5 minutes is better than 0, 10 minutes is better than 5. Whatever you can do, I know every day is a little bit of a challenge, just try to get it in. 3 more, and 2, and 1. Good work. Let's go ahead and come forward. Put the hand down, but keep the strap. Step your right foot on the headrest, ankle against the shoulder block for stability. Slide that back toe underneath you. This time, cross your straps, grabbing your little loops. We're going to take the elbows and glue them into the sides and do a little external rotation. I'm externally rotating from my forearm. Think of your elbows kind of hanging close to your rib cage. Your wrists are definitely going to stay straight. What that means is I'm not going to do this with my wrist and bend my wrist in either direction. I'm going to try to keep that joint stable. You have your option to stay right here. You also have the option to sit. That's definitely always a great option. I know kneeling's pretty challenging. Next option will be to stand. So when you rotate, you stand. When you come back, you release. And your third and final is to rotate and then punch your arms to either side of the room. It's more of kind of a 4-count motion. You rotate, then punch, rotate, come forward. Rotate, punch, rotate, forward. Good. 3. Remember, standing is optional. Don't do anything that does not feel good for you. And rest. Uncross the straps. Put your straps away and step off the machine. Okay, we have time for one more thing. Aren't you glad? Let's take all the springs off. I had you put your BOSU right in the middle. We're going to need it for one last thing. We're going to stand right on top of it. Your feet are on the BOSU. You're facing your machine. Your hands are going to go as close as you need to the shoulder blocks based on your height. And what that means is when you push the carriage out, you don't want to be hitting the wood. And then you're going to pull the carriage back in. I'm going to push the carriage out and pull the carriage back in. So we started with abdominals, so it seems fit we end with it, right? Kind of sandwich all that cardio work in between it. Just breathing where you feel appropriate, inhaling and exhaling. On your next time out, I'd like you to stay there and just hold your plank. Take your right hand and lift it. Tap your left shoulder and switch. Alternating right and left. Now I'm trying not to shift. You probably see some shifting. I'm trying to limit that. It's definitely hard. I'm doing the best I can, and that's all we can do. If this is too challenging, keep your hands down and just hold your plank, or continue your pikes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your plank. We're going to move from the shoulder. Push out an inch, in an inch, out an inch, in an inch. Keep tucking your tail, pulling those ribs down and together. That'll help support your back. Almost there, you guys. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1 and done. Come all the way in. Carefully step out of there and hook up one heavy red spring. One heavy spring is all you need. Turn all the way around. I want you to put your feet against the shoulder blocks. Press your hips forward. Drop your shoulders down your back. Lift your sternum up. You're going to be in this very supported little back bend as you press the carriage back and lift the carriage forward. Just counterbalancing that little flexion that we just did. Opening the heart a little bit. Breathing. Hopefully you feel better than you did 30 minutes ago. It feels great to work out, right? Definitely can change your whole day. for the better. Last 2 here. It's really muggy and gross and rainy, so this was just what I needed for today. Come all the way in, press your hips back, drop your hips down to your heels, drop your chest into the springs, take a little recovery, keep pushing out of those shoulders. Come all the way up, take your right foot onto not the foot bar, that gray surface with the shin against the foot bar. Push all the way out and find your lunge. I'm still drawing in through my abdominals, like the front of my body is lifting, the back of my body is dropping. Take your breaths, your heart rate might still be up. Now, if you have extra time and 30 minutes wasn't enough, I have a lot of 30-minute workouts, and you can do different lower body, upper body, abdominal focus, even 30 minutes of feet and straps. And I know a lot of my online clients like to combine 2 workouts for one. Just not that you have to, but just an option. Straighten that right leg and press it out to a little hamstring stretch. Like I said, 30 minutes is sometimes all you need, but in case you're looking for more, it's there for you. All right, come all the way in. Let's switch. Right foot against the shoulder block, left foot on the gray surface. Here comes our second rain band. You're going to push back into your lunge. Lift your sternum, pull your abs in, drop your tailbone down. Like I've said in other videos, sometimes I only have about an hour of time to film between teaching and picking up kids. And whatever the weather does, I still have to keep going. And then straighten your left leg, reach it all the way out. Come all the way back in, set that foot down one more time, push the hips back to the heels, drop your chest down towards the springs. Take a big recovery breath and let it go. Do that 2 more times. When you're ready, roll yourself up. And you are done. Thank you so much for working out with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, give me your feedback, comments, suggestions. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day, everyone.